role model for other people.
Yes. Yeah. And do you think, as you know, a couple of refugees, did any of them enter their businesses, their entrepreneurship?
I'm actually not quite sure about the details of that, but I think what's really important is that people are getting an opportunity, whether they've come in as refugees or as other, through other forms of migration, to contribute to this.
Definitely. Yeah. And would you encourage, going forward, if you were in touch with them, would you encourage them to do something and submit their ideas for consideration for the award?
Yeah, I think absolutely. None of us really know what path we're going to take in life, and I think that when we move to a new country, it's really important that we keep our options open.
Take chances.
Absolutely.
Take chances, definitely.
It is. Definitely. Yeah, it's very important.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Goodbye.
It's a big impact. It's important when you are doing all that you are doing on a voluntary basis for the past 5 years, and for people to notice what you are doing is a pat on the back, because we are working on a shoestring in terms of funding. So there is no statutory funding for us. If it wasn't for the passion, I would have packed up a long time ago. So this award is again telling us to push on doing all that we can do. For instance,
I'm here with Minister Eireann, who is the Minister for Integration. Minister, would you tell us, what do you think about the awards tonight?
Well, obviously these are a very positive feature now, second year in operation, and I believe that ethnic entrepreneurship has an enormous role to play. First of all, in basically adding to the net wealth of our country. And 12% of our population now are non-Irish by background, migrants, newcomers, whatever word you wish to use. But essentially these people are very dynamic and very ambitious people, and that's been the experience of migrants elsewhere. The Irish, when they travelled abroad, similarly full of ambition for their children in schools by way of education, and often are very good sources for entrepreneurship and the creation of business, the creation of capital and the creation of profit and employment. So from my perspective, we need to encourage the phenomenon much more. Also, I think at the end of the day, when ethnic minority individuals become successful business people, it acts as a very strong agent of integration generally, because people see that these are people who can contribute, make a huge contribution to the country and thing, and they act in a way, as one of the judging panel said here today, as icons, if you like, for the broader society. And I mean the broader society, not just the ethnic community, for the Irish community as well. So I think it's important in reducing or eliminating any remaining stereotypes that might exist in a country, that people are here contributing and making the most of things.
Yes, and you said something about that it is to our best interests that we encourage.
Well, of course it is. Of course it is. Migrants are now 12% of our population, and they have to be integrated, because there's a productivity benefit or gain for the country in purely economic terms and labour market terms. But obviously there's a wider social productivity gain, because ethnic minority groups and individuals, if they're given their chance, will become successful entrepreneurs, will become successful professionals, will be providing service. And the evidence to date in Ireland is that the migrants who've come here have made an enormous contribution. Our Economic and Social Research Institute estimates that migrants may have contributed as much as 3% to our GNP since 2004. So the contribution is very real, and it's not imaginary. It's not me making up these figures. That these are obvious facts, and we need to do this.
And you said something as well about the migrants coming in and they're all overqualified for their jobs.
Yes. And
what would you like to say to the business community about changing that particular trend?
Well, I think there's a huge challenge here to employers, because to my mind, quite a lot of employers, have hugely talented people within their workforce, and from their own profitability point of view and productivity as companies, they have to look at their staff very carefully and assess what talents, skills and qualifications lie in their own workforce. Quite obviously, and quite a lot, I suspect, with regard to migrants that are in companies. Quite often, maybe perhaps the human resource managers don't realise the full extent of the qualifications that may be resident in the migrant population that are working in their offices or in their factories, and they just need to realise that.
They're actually losing out.
Well, I would think they are. Yeah, I would think they are losing out, because predominantly the migrant profile here shows that they are overqualified for the jobs they're in. Now, there are understandable reasons why they're not progressing at the moment. Some to do with English language acquisition, some to do with not being fully aware, if you like, of the culture, business culture or otherwise of the country, and how to progress themselves. So,
we want to see,
we'd like to see business people mentoring, getting into mentoring individuals or groups of staff members, and I would like to see them get them to see them doing more by way of assessing the skills within their own company, both Irish and non-Irish, because often these things can be overlooked.
There we go. Thank you very much, Minister for Integration.
Hello girls, are you a Nigerian? Do you have what it takes to be Miss Nigerian Ireland 2008?
Parrot Entertainment presents Miss Nigeria Ireland 2008, and for more information you can log on to the website www.missnigeria.ie. It could be me, could be me, could be you, could be you, or me. See you there.
So see you there.
And which awards did you get? Best Business Idea.
Yes.
Thank you again. We're here at the Ethnic Entrepreneur of the Year Awards, and right here next to me is Maria Angolo. Maria won the Best Business Idea of the Year. Tell us about that Best Business Idea.
Well, the best business idea really came when I was working. I'm a qualified nurse by trade, and I was working after I have given birth to my son, who is now 14, which meant that it was actually difficult for me to have to get up early in the morning, bring my son to the babysitters, and I never used to see him at all. So the best business idea came when I just said, God, I'm gonna have to just jump the gun and take a leave of absence and see where it goes from, and set up my own agency and work agency. At least I know I can juggle my son around.
On your own hours?
That's correct.
Oh yes, so you have an agency, and what does your agency do?
My agency is called Lifeline Nursing Agency. It was founded in 1998. And we provide healthcare assistance and nurses to hospitals and nursing homes. And also recently we started providing healthcare assistance or even nurses to private home care. And it has been going very strong ever since it was launched, really. I have no complaints, thank goodness to the clients, the employees whom we send to work in these hospitals, and also to my office staff management, who work very hard to send the people to work all around the
And tell us, as someone who, you've got an award at this stage. We're recognizing what you have done. Is that going to change anything about what you've done so far?
To be honest with you, I am not sure. I am hoping that it will maybe bring me support, and maybe it's great to be recognized for working hard for the last 10 years. And I'm not sure. I'm looking forward to whether it brings me somewhere or not. I do appreciate the award, absolutely.
Brilliant. And what would you say to the mothers out there, yourself being a mother and being able to juggle your career and being a mother? What advice would you give to other mothers who might be in situations that you are in?
Well, I think you need to have the drive within you, really, and it's extremely very hard working to actually decide that you're going to give up your permanent job and with the health board, for that matter, pensionable health board job. But I didn't just give it up. I actually requested a leave of absence. And then I requested the leave of absence year after year, up to 5 years. Then I had to either go back or resign.
So you resigned.
And I had to resign.
Well, thank God you're doing quite well. Yeah. You're doing quite well, and I'm sure you definitely deserve the award that you just got.
I'm delighted with the award, absolutely.
Thank you very much, Maria. It's great meeting.
My pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Chinedu, who is the man behind the whole organization, and this was your brainchild, wasn't it?
It is.
How did that happen? How did you come up with the idea to think we should have Ethnic Entrepreneur of the Year Awards?
Basically, as a businessman as well as a journalist myself, combining the two hats and having traveled to so many places, especially in mainland Europe, where I saw a lot of immigrants, doing great work in business. There have not been any positive appreciation of what they are doing. So over 2 years ago, I thought of the possibility of doing something for them. Also, in the year 2003, I was opportune to deliver an address, a speech in the European Parliament on ethnic. And after speaking to them and, people coming back to congratulate me for the speech, I decided that maybe, I need to do something. And then myself. So the first thing I wanted to do was a center for ethnic entrepreneurship. And then with that center, I'll be able to run events and initiatives like this.
Yes.
But then there has not been any, strong support for the center. So I decided to look at the Ethnic Entrepreneurship Awards as a way of, launching the center.
Yes.
So basically, right now we are doing that, but the overall aim is to start a center for ethnic entrepreneurship.
So at the moment, you have the awards. And I'm thinking, what kind of impacts do you think this is doing for the immigrants in this country?
Well, last year was the first one. I think, that very first one generated a lot of attention. Okay? For instance, the president of Eireann, Mary McAleese, was the first presenter of the awards.
That's good. That's high profile. Yeah.
So it was very, very high profile. And then this year we have the minister of integration back in it.
I heard something about a mentorship program.
Yeah, there is exclusive mentoring, for this program.
Okay.
So Aiden Heavy is going to spend 2 days mentoring some of the winners, winners and some of the entries. Yeah.
Okay.
So he will dedicate 2 days of his time.
So it's a kind of a business entrepreneurship mentoring, so they can get even better at what they're doing.
Yes,
that's brilliant. Anything else you want to tell us about what you're doing and the awards, Metro Eireann, the way forward?
Yeah, basically in relation to the awards, I think, in the long run, we will be, hopefully from next year, we'll have a very big conference on entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Okay? And then we are also planning to launch a network club. The network event hopefully will include non-business people, people who are interested in business, so that they can come and also discuss with businessmen and women, and then perhaps generate more ideas from there. So that's what we're looking at. In the area of the newspaper Metro Eireann, well, we are currently weekly, and we are hoping that with time we'll increase our circulation from 10,000 maybe to 20 or 30,000 copies. Yeah.
And tell us finally, the awards, who is it open to? How do people, if they're interested in getting their own ideas in, what do they do?
Basically, it's open to everybody who has immigrant background. If your father is from Nigeria, your mother is from Kenya, you live in Ireland, you are from Dublin, you are entitled. Your mother is Irish, your father is from heaven, you are entitled. Just, people of different cultures, anybody who has connection with immigration.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Chinedu. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Viewers, we've come to the end of the show. And for those of you thinking of joining the business world, I hope you've been inspired by the stories of the winners. Please join us next week when we bring you another exciting edition of Parrot Show.